You did a great job, baby.
Well,
you really were a wealth of information.
I loosened my tongue from biting it, but other than that, I'm fine.
Are you okay?
No, I'm
I know
fine.
you were really holding back.
No, I didn't.
Was it interesting? It must have been interesting.
Of course. Okay, we are back.
Okay, so the question to the ladies was rejection. And I will speak from personal experience here because that was the worst part of being single in midlife in my 40s was the rejection. And it was constant. It just wore me down and it started to, pardon me, fuck with my head because you start to believe that you're not worthy, that you're something, you're broken or defective or how would you advise single women that are now finding themselves, single in their 50s and 60s? How do you deal with rejection? How do you fortify yourself, bolster yourself against it? And how do you not let it get to you?
So rejection to me is, it's perspective. And we can see it as rejection, or we can look at dating as mostly no's, because that's what it is, until you get to that one yes that you really want. And so the nature of dating is it's not going to work. It's the wrong match. And the faster you can go through the dates and not waste time with the wrong person, that's also what leads to rejection, is getting hooked on the wrong person and then feeling slayed when somehow he rejects you. Put yourself in the chooser position, like you are the chooser. And if you walk in thinking, I'm the CEO of my love life, I get to decide who to hire and who to fire, then I'm not going to feel rejected. I'm going to feel like it's not a good match and then just keep moving on. So you need to manage your expectations around it. That's really important. And just reframe rejection as good information to keep moving till you find the right person.
Yeah. I think, Sandy, you and I actually did a segment on that, if I remember right, on rejection, because it's huge. And one thing that I took away from that I still remember to this day is, again, yes, perspective, but also at what point in the process are you getting rejected? Because if it's during the online thing, your emails aren't getting answered or whatever, you're not being rejected. You can't be rejected if they don't even know you.
Right.
Exactly. Now, it's easier said than done, believe me, because you do tend to take this personally. But that made a lot of sense to me. If they don't know you, they're not rejecting you.
Right. Now, it's not personal.
Yeah, it's not personal. Now, if you...
So not personal. Bingo. Yes.
Yes, but you could feel rejected for what it is you are showing them, the little bit that they do know, and you may feel that that's being rejected. So there is a part of that which causes you to, you can't help but feel rejection for the little amount you have shown them that may be not appealing to them for some reason. So
I would assume that for a divorced woman, it's so much more profound because having just come out of, maybe a loveless marriage or a marriage where you felt rejected every day, the last thing you want is to go out in the dating world and have to deal with more of that, which comes with the territory. I mean, not everyone's going to like you. I understand that, but it's really tough. I mean, it's something I really had to master because you just do. I mean, you have to really kind of develop a tough skin. It's just an unfortunate part of dating, but hey, that's,
Well, I think that's maybe the heads up more so than a real answer to it, because while we say that, you're not really, like what I just said, and I believe that. And I also know that it's much harder said than done. So maybe that's one of the biggest heads up is dealing with rejection and understanding that in our new, digital world, this online world, this is going to come with a lot of rejection. And maybe understanding that that's going to happen might just make it a little bit easier when it does happen. I don't know. How did you handle it, Treva?
Oh my God. I got good at it, I guess. I just...
you found Robby.
I finally realized, well, first of all, after each rejection, I did do some analysis. I did a little bit of a little autopsy, I guess. And after the last one, I thought, oh, no, I was perfect. I was like, I couldn't have been a better girlfriend. And I really checked off all the boxes with this last guy that I was dating before I met Robby. And at that point, when he said, no, I really don't want to be in this relationship, I just said, you know what? And I write this in my book, and you just read that. This is as good as it's going to get. Mm-hmm. And if you don't love me now, I don't think you're ever going to love me. So let us part ways. And I really now know that it is not me, that it is not taking it personally was a very important step in sparing me utter devastation, which I was, just because who doesn't get devastated after a breakup? But with each breakup or rejection, I got a little stronger, a little more confident, believe it or not. And I do think it's doable to make rejection work for you. But
yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, just what you just said, the analysis is really important. The only way it gets better and easier is if you have some self-reflection. So if it isn't you, and it often isn't, especially if it's the early stages and people are ghosting and just dropping out of life and flaking out, that's just the nature of dating, and you just kind of chalk it up. But if you have a pattern of you get involved with the wrong people and you keep getting rejected, do the analysis, work with a coach or a therapist. And I mean, I see it all the time. It's one of the first things I do is I look at those patterns. Like, do you keep attracting emotionally unavailable men? Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, you can't make those men available,
right. Exactly. Excuse me, that was my problem. See, it was a bad time. I was in my 40s. I had never been married, wanted a kid, actually. And good luck finding a guy also in his 40s or 50s that are ready to jump back in. So it wasn't so much a rejection of me as it was my goals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And my dreams, I guess. So I did get good at it. And I also got good at not sabotaging myself. Which is the next question I have for you guys. How does a single woman in her 50s and 60s, avoid self-sabotage?
Silke, do you want to start this one?
Well, I'm give me an example of what you mean by, I mean, I know what self-sabotage is. What comes to me is, again, that you're doing things to screw it up because you expect something bad to happen.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, I would say. I mean, I have my own answer for that, and but I wanted to hear it from you guys.
That was something that I actively had to think about, and almost every day is that I started expecting good things to happen versus bad things to happen. I wasn't looking for the what's it called, the other something to drop. I can't remember. Thank you. I'm German. Sometimes I go. So yeah, I wasn't looking for that anymore. And I read at first a lot of self-help books. I loved the book How to Heal Your Life. A friend of mine sent that to me, and it's so simple and it made so much sense. There was just things in there where you just every day you think about that good things are going to happen, and you know what? All of a sudden it does. I mean, it's not a smooth road, but I think that's maybe what I did. I very consciously worked on not sabotage, not expecting the new guys I was dating, to do what my husband did, like cheat on me. So it takes very conscious effort, I believe, to acknowledge that okay, is this real or am I making this up? And then understanding that, oops, I might be screwing this up. I'm thinking something is happening and it's not. Does that make sense?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'll go ahead, Sandy, and then I'll.
Yeah, no, I agree with Silke. I think some other ways that we self-sabotage are to actually just stay in your comfort zone and don't get off your couch and expect some person to show up at your door, and to give up too quickly, like to make broad sweeping generalizations about men, about online dating, about there are no men in my city. I mean, I hear women talk about, every single woman comes to me with the same complaints. There are no good men in my city. I'm too old. That's pretty much it. And it's like somebody in Singapore said the same thing as somebody in Ontario. It's not happening all over. It is so much in our mindset. And so just like Silka said, like expect good things to happen. Look for the good in every date, because really, if you go into dating thinking, I better be meeting my life partner or it sucks, you're going to be burnt out in no time. So go in thinking, I'm going to learn something about somebody. He's going to maybe learn something about me. Come prepared like you would to a job interview. Like really bring interesting stories and make the most out of it, so that each dating experience adds to your life and adds to his life. And I think that we will have so much of a better experience in dating.
That's great advice for women of any age or anybody of any age. And I realize there's so much about what we're talking about today is relevant to women of all ages, single women of all ages. But the midlife single woman, that's sort of a rare creature. And I find that in my own life and working with clients and even just hearing my friend's story, the biggest obstacle for women in their 50s plus, as in the singles world, is fear. Mm-hmm. That, to me, is a killer.
Yeah. Faith, not fear, is what the mantra is with us. Faith, not fear. And again, much easier said than done, but nonetheless true.
And fear and love cannot coexist.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Okay.
Unfortunately, it's time to wrap the show up.
I can't believe it.
It's time to wrap it up.
We need a part 2.
So, Sandy, please tell us where people can find you.
They can find me here in my house. No, don't come here. You can find me at lastfirstdate.com. That's my dating website. And they can find me at thewomanofvalue.com. And if you are over 40 and want a fantastic Facebook group, we have a group of about 3,000 women with 8 monitors. I think I have 8 monitors who monitor this group every day. So we make sure that it stays positive, and all the things we talked about today, it's all forward moving. There's no venting incessantly and man bashing allowed. And it's called Your Last First Date. So I would love to have you there.
Great.
And just all my social media stuff is on my website.
Got it.
Great. And Silka?
Yeah. Well, and I, of course, our website is secondact.tv. That's 2ND act.tv. And as well as our YouTube channel. And I'd love for you to come check out the YouTube channel. And I'll be sure to subscribe. We are pushing our subscriber base again, so that's where I can be found. And we are, Paige and I both love hearing from you, love hearing your comments. We produce programming based on things that people are struggling with. So drop us a line.
Excellent. Well, thank you, ladies.
Love you. You did a great job,
show.
baby.
Well,
you really were a wealth of information.
I loosened my tongue from biting it, but other than that, I'm fine.
Are you okay?
I'm
I know
fine.
you were really holding back.
No, I didn't.
Was it interesting? It must have been interesting.
Of course.
It is. I think it is.
We're
going to do a men's version of this at some point. But you guys are such good sports. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for rolling with the sound effects.
Have a great week.
We are done being single. Hope everyone is too.
It was fun.
All right. It's a bunch. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
And that concludes part 4 of Done Being Single with Treva and Robby. Thanks again to both of them for letting me record this for Second Act TV. I'll be sure to link to the full audio broadcast on voiceamerica.com, as well as previous segments. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. Button's right over here. See you next time.